beautiful people, welcome back to Kyshira.chirima Today's video is going to be about 6 amazing tips and tricks that I use in my natural hair journey to retain length. So let's get started. So the first thing I like to pay attention to, which is number 1, is my scalp, which is scalp care. There's days where I actually do a scalp treatment, and what I mean by that is that I actually make a scrub for my scalp, just like how you make scrubs for your lip or for your face or for your body to do some exfoliation. Your scalp needs the same type of treatment. In my natural hair journey, I have tried multiple ways of doing a scalp treatment, and the best way is to just apply the scalp scrub that I made and just apply it to my head and go over it in the shower before I go to wash my hair. So with this, I would use brown sugar, and I would just put some jojoba oil, some tea tree oil, and that would be my scalp mixture to actually really work it into my hair. So when I go to make the exfoliation for my body, it's like a multi-use scrub because I also use it on my scalp as well. I also like to use some hair tools. I got one from Amazon, which I'll definitely link in my Amazon storefront, and I actually got one from the hair company ℎ𝕬𝕐. And those are just some scalp massagers that you can actually manually do with your hand. But the one that I have linked in my Amazon store, which I actually have in my bathroom right now, is one that actually vibrates on its own. And you can just take this scalp treatment after you walk it in with your hands, and just take that scalp massager and go over your head just to get all of that blood circulation flowing in your scalp. So make sure you're taking care of your scalp, guys. So let's go on to tip number 2. So for tip number 2, I have deep condition. I also posted a reel of me deep conditioning my hair, and you guys was like, I never even know about heating up my conditioner. And yes, that's one of the tricks that I do with my deep condition. To me, when you apply heat in that type of way to your hair, it just really makes your hair feel so much better, especially when you're applying deep conditioner. So as you guys saw in the reel, I go ahead and, you know, heat up my pot with water. I put my conditioner in my bamboo bowl, which you guys always see that I use, and I go ahead and use some jojoba oil, and I let that come to a boil, like if I actually boiling up something, and I let it come to a boil. And once I stir the conditioner to mix the oil and everything, and I feel that it's to a good temperature that I can manage on my hair, I go ahead and turn off the pot of water, and I actually leave the bowl inside of the pot and carry it with me in the bathroom. I don't take the bowl out of the pot because you know the bowl gonna get cool and it's gonna cool off your conditioner. So leave it in the hot water. When you start on your first section, whichever section you start, by the time you reach all the way to the end, your conditioner gonna still be hot. So that's what you want, you know, you don't want it to cool off. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys how often you should do it or give you like a strict regimen as when you should do it, because I don't know your hair, you know what I mean? But I would tell you that I do mine every weekend. That's just something that I have gotten into a habit of doing, and it just stick with me. And I just feel like my type of hair, with the dry hair that I have, I just need that deep condition on a weekly basis. Sometimes if my hair is in the resting stage, which I'll get into that later, I would go ahead and like let my hair sit in some twists for like a week and a half and stretch it to 2 weeks, and then go ahead and deep condition my hair that week. This is one of the tricks that I wanted to tell you guys in, like, you know, a YouTube video form, to really go over it and explain to you guys why I do it. So tip number 3, this was a game changer for me, and I actually see it on camera when I was doing my hair, like when I went back to edit, and I actually feel it as well, and I was like, wow, this really ain't no joke. So as much as you deep condition, you also need a balance. Just like this, the yin and yang sign, you see the black and white, there's a balance to everything in life, everything. So with that being said, you need protein treatment, and the one that I use is the Green Beauty protein treatment. I'll link a video up in the cards above so you guys can check that video out. So I do a protein treatment once a month. I go ahead and deep condition my hair for the first 3 weeks, but at the end I will give my hair a massive protein treatment that I know it needs. Some people don't need it so often. You just really have to figure out how your hair feeling and what your hair need. I can't sit on here and tell you what to do for your hair. I can't. Like, I wish I could, if I was actually like feeling your type of hair and actually getting to put my fingers in your hair, or actually doing your hair on a daily basis to understand how your hair is what. I can only show you what I do for my hair, and then you have to decide what you're gonna pick and choose and try in your regimen to see if it has worked for you as well. And if it don't, that's okay. It's not that it's bad, or it's not that like, oh well, she doing that and it don't work for me. It's just okay. That's trial and error. You go on to something else and you try something different, or you try the new product, or you try a new technique, or you know what I mean. It's just trial and error. That's all it really is. Let's speak about the type of protein treatments. I have the homemade ones that you can make. I also have the one from Green Beauty, which is like a more vegan option, which is what I prefer to use. And because that one, the molecules can actually penetrate into your hair strands. When you do a protein treatment from home, the molecules is too big to get into the hair strands to repair whatever it needs to fix. So this is why I would more do a treatment like the Green Beauty one, or there's also Afro-G, but I have never used Afro-G, and it have some things in it that I just don't care to put on my scalp. So this is why I use the Green Beauty one. I'll definitely leave a link down below in my Amazon store where you could order yours as well if you want to use protein treatment in your hair. Okay. Tip number 4. You need to let your dead ends go. Just let them go. There's this myth about cutting your dead ends that gonna make your hair grow longer. Like, your hair don't grow from your ends. Your hair don't grow from your ends. What will happen is that when you cut your dead ends off, right? Because you're cutting the dead ends, you're cutting the knots, you're cutting the split ends, you're cutting the damage off. So you're stopping that damage from running up your hair shaft. That way, when you cut the damage off, you retain more length, because regardless, hair gonna grow from the roots. Your hair gonna grow, you know. Your hair gonna grow. But it's what you do to retain the length that's coming out your root. So when you cut your dead ends off, you have fresh, clean ends that are not damaged. So you're gonna keep your length, right? You're gonna keep the length that you have. And when your hair growing, because down here good, your ends, you're gonna get to retain all of that length that's growing, because you don't have damage coming from the bottom all the way to the top, messing up your hair length or having you not retain length that you want. You understand what I'm saying? Because some people will be like, oh well, when I cut my split ends, my hair gonna grow. No, your hair growing anyway. It's just your ends mess up, so that's why you ain't going to retain the length that you want. So let's move on to tip number 5. No heat. Now let me explain to you. There's 3 types of, I don't even know what to call it, 3 types of natural hair people. The natural hair people that could use heat on their natural hair, and they go back to revert to their curls pop back like they never had heat on the hair. Like they could just do that, and that's just how their hair is. Then you have people who could use heat on their hair and don't see any damage for the first few times that they use it, but as the time go on, they're gonna be like, oh wow, this heat really catching up to my hair strands, and your hair just don't revert back to being the curls that you had. Then I have people who apply heat for the first time ever, and boom, heat damage. The minute they go in the shower, they have these straight pieces, like long straight pieces with all their curls to the top, or they have like straight pieces and then curls to the end. Some people here just can't handle that type of heat, but not every time that's going to happen. But my overall suggestion to you is to just stay away from it. Tip number 6. So tip number 6 is rest. As I started to do YouTube videos, I realized that my hand been in my head more than it usually was, and that was because I was trying to create content. I was trying to push out videos, and I was trying to this and that, and I was like, my hair ain't starting to feel the same. And I had to really, I had to take a break. And this just happened recently, and this is why now I posted the iPhone video and I posted the DIY video, because those in that week my hair was resting. I cannot be up on YouTube posting doing my hair so often. At least for me, my hair does start to feel like different, like, you know, because we're so accustomed to a regimen that I was doing way before I started YouTube, and my hair gets so accustomed and so trained to that regimen that when I started to have my hand in my hair more often, my hair was like, no girl, you can't do that with me. So rest is really a serious thing. I suggest that you keep your hair in 2-strand twists. That's how I does let my hair rest. Do box braids. You could do you know, you put your hair in corners and you put on a lace front and you let your hair really rest and catch itself. So I suggest you guys do the same for your hair. Don't over manipulate your hair, because that gonna cause a lot of damage, a lot of breakage, and you know what I mean. I just don't want to sit up here and be creating content but at the same time damaging my hair just to put out a video. That's, I don't want to mess up my hair, you know, for that. Like, so yeah, that's my 6 tips, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope to see you in the next one. You guys take care of yourself, take care of your people, one love.
Do you like that?